Hey, what's happening? Jeremiah here. I want to teach you some really important aspects of the no-beat windmill. I get a lot of requests for running this pattern and it has become one of my favorites. And I've got a few important things to break down for you before we begin. So with just one club, I want you to acknowledge when you're throwing these no-beat throws that there are several different points that you can use as the center of the circle. And we're gonna just use a no-beats cascade kind of foundation here. If you're gonna use your shoulder, then you're gonna do what's often called giants. And the shoulder in this case is the center of the circle. Similarly, you could use your elbow as the center of that circle. The elbow gets a little restricted right here, so it helps to rotate your body with it at the same time. So the elbow circles. And then there would also be the wrist circles, which would be really tiny. Something more like this. Now you can run a no-beat pattern in that fashion with all three of those variations. There's a giant's version, which is not one I practice a ton. And then there's the elbow version, which I think of as the easiest one. And then there's the wrist version, which is really small and fast. A nice one to build up to. You can apply this concept to pretty much any radial pattern or no-beat pattern. I use those two words interchangeably. There are exceptions, of course, because the body might get in the way. For example, if I want to do a forward buzzsaw, the only option I really have is to go with the hands. And I can't use my elbows because it's just gonna hit me. So there are some physical limitations that you'll come across, but you can think of radial throws in this fashion. For example, let's look at a sebs. A sebs is often done with the elbows as the primary location, but if I try and push it more to the shoulders, then I end up with a much bigger version of it. Now, obviously there are some physical limitations in this, but it allows me to change the shape. Now I'm back to elbows, and if I want to push it just to hands, then I end up with a really small version of the pattern. Let's talk about that as it applies to the windmill then. There's the shoulder version, which would be huge and pretty bulky and doesn't feel great, but it certainly is possible. There's the elbow version, where my elbow is the hinge, and this is about the shape of the overall circle. And then there's the hand or wrist variation, which makes it really small. Now, in the case of the windmill, the thing that you've got to get used to with the wrist version, which is sort of the holy grail, that's the one that everybody wants to figure out, is getting used to that ring grip. Right off of the catch, you have to use the ring grip to get the swing. And everybody always wants to use the elbow as the center of the circle. If you can use the wrist as the center of that circle, or more specifically the ring grip, then you can suddenly make that whole thing really small. So you want to practice with just one club doing a little circle like this, so that that throw comes off of that ring grip swing, not an elbow swing. Break it down with two clubs and start by trying to get the ring grip followed by underarm, and then pause. Ring grip, underarm, ring grip, underarm, ring grip, underarm, and then go underarm followed by ring grip, underarm, ring grip, underarm, ring grip. And then try and chase them so that you're alternating each time. Underarm, ring grip, underarm, underarm, ring grip, underarm. Now you've got that gap where the third club will go. I like to use a little bit of a downward pulse with my hand when it lands in my hand in order to get that float that you need. It's subtle, but it makes a big difference in giving yourself the time, right? Oh, you can get a little extra height off of it. There ends up being enough time to do some variations. Like one of my favorites is running this and then throwing the underarm one higher as a 4. or in other words, back to the same hand that threw it. And that allows you to just add a ring grip swing without the toss. For example, boom. Whoops, too much swing. Try again. To the point where you can even just run two in one hand with that swing happening underneath. Whew. So I hope this helps you understand a little bit more about radial throws and where the source of power is coming from, and helps you unlock that no beat windmill throw. And if you want to learn a little bit more, don't hesitate to go to the Patreon and check out the channel where I've got more tutorials. You can make requests, you can ask questions, and continue learning lots more club goodies. Thanks so much for being here. Jeremiah out.